Hello, my friends. Hope you are all doing well. Sorry I was just a couple of seconds late, but I dropped my phone when I was putting it in the holder. So here we go. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Hope you are all doing well. I'm just going to make sure that I pop up on the other side so I can see your beautiful comments. 1 second here. I know that there's a delay. As you come in, say hello, so I know that I'm in the right spot, and it looks like I am. Hello, Patty. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jennie, and we are back with our scrapbooking trio today with Patty, Tammy, and Jennie. Today is Tuesday, May 27th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on Facebook if you are catching the live. But if you are watching the replay, it will be on my YouTube channel a little bit later on this morning, as well as right here on Facebook for the next 30 days. For those of you that might be new to my page, welcome. My name is Tammy Savello, and welcome to Cards by TLC. And I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 10.5 years. I started out as a scrapbooker, so these scrapbooking lives have been absolutely fun over the past several months. Hello and welcome. I know you're getting a little sneak peek of I can't take credit for these, and I'll tell you where I got the pictures from. So we are going to be showcasing the fun scrapbooking layouts that are on page 28. Let me pull this over. Make sure I'm on the right scrapbooking. We're good to go. Okay. I want to make sure I'm in frame here. On page 28 in the 2025-2026 annual catalogs, I'm going to be showcasing this little layout right here, showing these 6 pictures on a 2-page layout. If you missed Patty's live this morning at 9, she did this amazing layout. Oh my gosh. Please be sure, if you missed her live, watch the replay, because she has the most beautiful garden ever. Actually, I believe, Patty, you have a more beautiful garden than my mom did with her roses. And my mom absolutely loved her roses. I wish I caught her green thumb and her love for gardening. But after watching, oh, hold on, we've got a slight delay. Are we back? I just saw a slight delay in the live, and I want to make sure that we are back in action. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But if you are live in the chat and you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, or you can hear me or whatever. But I wish I had my mom's green thumb. Okay, hi again. Let's see. If you guys can hear me, I just want to, before I go forward, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me and I'm good to go. So nothing happened. Okay. Okay. All good. It showed that it was delayed on my end. So, okay, we're going forward. Anyhow, I wish I had my mom's beautiful green thumb, but after watching Patty's live in her garden, I swear I'm going to try this. I'm going to get the green thumb, and she has inspired me to get out and play in my garden. Like she had mentioned in her live that she doesn't have a lot of space. I have an extremely large backyard, so I need to get some help and some love on that. So I'm going to do that. But my pictures today came from the inspiration a couple of years ago, because my mom absolutely loved roses. My niece and her husband thought it would be an amazing time to take me to the Washington Park Rose Test Garden in Portland, Oregon. That's where I got all of these photos from. These photos, their roses are absolutely stunning. And I'll go over some history here when I'm going over the layout pages. but they have over 10,000 bushes, and it was absolutely stunning. So that is where my photos came from today. And roses are one of my favorite flowers, as well as my mom's. My mom loved roses and gardenias. I love gardenias, but sometimes they give me just a little bit of a headache. But roses, oh, I love them. And I have been picking my mom's roses in the backyard over the past couple of weeks, just to kind of bring her back into my heart and memory. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over what papers I am using really quick. I thought it would be fun to use the Florals A Bloom designer paper. I love this rainbow paper. Absolutely stunning. And then I have some white willow, I think it's called, layering. And then I thought it would be fun to use this green side because on that layout it has a background coming straight down. And I'm going to focus primarily on the layout. Let me just show you really quick again. It's this layout in here. So I'm going to kind of focus pretty much the way the layout is. And then I brought in some greenery from the Impressions of Bloom, Impressions of Bloom. And then the grass cluster from Mixed Media Florals. So I have some flowers and some greenery that I have off to the side. And we're just going to kind of lay out the pages, how we're going to glue them down. And then I think I'll just do one page at a time because I have limited space here. But let's go ahead and lay out our first page. Like I said, my photos came from the Washington Park International Rose Test Garden in Portland, Oregon. It was almost like a stadium. It was gorgeous, like stepped layers of these rose bushes. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I know. I thought I wanted to put some sort of element since I'm not using a kit. So I thought these would be kind of fun to add in there. So I'm going to lay this down. So I have our 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and then I have a 10 by 10 white willow, and then my title is 1.5 by 10 1/4, and then our matting in Strawberry Slush is 1 3/4 by 10 1/2. Don't worry, all of the sizes and dimensions will be on my blog post tomorrow, May 28th. So I'm just going to kind of lay these down before I start gluing them down. So there, oh, we got to put our background. Hold, please. Hold, please. And then, so this was 10 by 10. This is 6 by 10. So I just thought it would go right down the center just to break up that white. And it kind of ties in with that particular layout. And then I have my title right here. And then I thought it would be fun to do these two, like, overall pictures. Now this is like nothing compared to how many rows of roses that they had. So there is that. Like I said, they have more than 10,000 individual rose bushes that bloom in the garden from May to October, over 610 different rose varieties, and they change out 10 to 20 varieties per year. And I believe they also use these, they ship them down to the Rose Parade. I saw one section that they specifically use for the Rose Parade, that they ship them down there. Absolutely stunning. There we go. And then We have, it just kind of like does almost like a Z or a V or angle. Portland, Oregon is close to your neck of the woods. How fun, Peggy. And then, which one? I think I had this one. So I had not taken, so I have kind of like a fun little fact. I had not taken the names of the roses. So thank goodness for ChatGPT. I plugged in pictures of the roses and they gave me the names of the roses. So I wrote down or typed up the names of the roses and I put them on the stylish shapes tags. So I thought, okay, thank God for ChatGPT because Tammy was not prepared and did not take the names of the roses as I was taking pictures of it. Who would have thought? You do need to put this place on your bucket list. Patty is absolutely gorgeous. The park is ginormous, so you can walk and walk throughout the park. But this particular rose portion of it is the test center, and it's in Portland, Oregon. You would absolutely love it. So this particular rose was called Ebb Tide, and I just thought I would type that in. And then for our circle, I put the date, and it was in June 2023. So I also die cut out these greenery grass clusters, as well as some leaves and some flowers. So I thought it would be fun to bring in some flowers, maybe put the strawberry slush flower down there, and then maybe the darling duckling up there. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that that looks really pretty? I really like how it all kind of comes together, and I just want to make sure that we're in frame, and it looks like we are. Peggy said we should also check out the Japanese gardens if we come to Portland. Oh my goodness. So my niece lives in Portland, so I will definitely have to check out the Japanese gardens as well. So I really like how that laid out. So the photos I cut down to 3.5 by 3 3/8, and then I matted the pictures. And those matte pieces are 3 5/8 by 3.5. Now again, all of the sizes and dimensions will be on my blog post tomorrow. And then the matting of my details are 2 3/8 by 2 3/4. So I think that that looks really well. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing down. I would love to know in the chat, and I should have just glued down the white on this. So now I don't have to kind of move this off here. But, oh well, we can put it back. I remembered where it goes. I would love to know in the chat, what type of flower is your favorite flower? And we are going to lay that, just center that, just like so, leaving that nice little rainbow flower border around. Like I said, my favorite flowers are roses, and then I also love Gerber daisies. And I love the look of a gardenia. I love the smell of a gardenia. However, just keeping it around kind of gives me a little bit of a headache. It's sweet, but it's like a overpowering sweetness. It's gorgeous, but sometimes it gives me a little bit of a headache. And we're just gonna lay this down. Like I said, my mom spent hours in her garden every single day, just like Patty does. And I think I need to be inspired and be outside and enjoying the beautifulness of a garden. So I need to give my backyard some major TLC, no pun intended. Roses and this alstroemeria, absolutely. Patty, your alstroemerias are my favorite. When you always gave me bouquets, oh, gorgeous. I'm gonna lay that and lay that back down. Put you back down there. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere this one. I'm gonna add some more because I want to lay that cluster of grass down. Just like so. Debbie loves peonies. Peonies is my niece's favorite. You also love fire and ice roses, and Anne, she loves primroses. They do well in the wet and cold climates there in Alaska. Oh, yeah, you always have to look up what works best for your climate and your elements. There we go. I've had so much fun scrapbooking, some storytelling over the past several months of this. Like I said, I started out as a scrapbooker, so this kind of put me back in the swing of things. Go. And this was an ebb tide rose. And these roses right here are the ebb tides. This is a Joseph's Coat rose. And I think I'm going to add some liquid glue to this leaf. Like I said, the grass clusters came from the mixed florals, and then this leaf came from Impressions of Bloom. There we go. Just kind of tuck that in there. And then I'm going to do my little strawberry slush flower down here. And my darling duckling one up there. And this particular page is done. Love it. There we go. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Absolutely. I thought that this was a good kind of breaking it up because it was just too much white for me, but I wanted some white. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our second page. And look how stunning that paper is. I absolutely love that paper. This paper has become one of my favorites for sure. Okay, again, 12 by 12. And then our 10 by 10 of our white willow. And then this is 6 by 10 of our florals of bloom. To break up my white. I remember every year for my mom's, either her birthday or Mother's Day, primarily Mother's Day, my brothers and I would always get her rose bushes, or some sort of flowering bush. And again, I wish you know what? I've got to give myself like credit. I haven't really tried. And I'm at the age where I really want to get out and tend to some peaceful garden. And even my husband mentioned to me, believe it or not, he really wanted to look into possibly gardening. So I think that that would be a nice little thing that we could do together. Okay, now I chose for these scrapbooking layouts my favorite ones. So this one is actually called a Betty Boop flower. And fun fact, my mom absolutely loved this particular one. Also, the fact that she didn't ever get this one, but she always loved it. And because she loved it, because Betty Boop was her favorite cartoon character. So I thought it was kind of fun to take a picture when I saw that one. And I remember that one was actually called Betty Boop. So I did remember that one when I took that picture because I specifically loved that. This is absolutely gorgeous. And I kind of wish, I want to look for that particular rose bush, because if they have it, I'm going to get that one for sure and plant it. So I'm going to go on a hunt for Betty Boop rose bush. And so for my journaling, I typed it up because my handwriting is icky. I went to visit my niece Haley and her husband Sean. They knew my mom loved roses and thought it would be fun for us to go to this peaceful sanctuary set. And then when I went to her favorite rose bush, this was one of the first roses. So I knew she was with us that day, because this was the very first rose bush that we loved. And I looked at my niece and I said, "That's a Betty Boop, isn't it?" And she looked at the name and she goes, "Yeah, how did you know?" I said, "That was Grandma's favorite rose." So I, for a fact, that was the first one that I took a picture of. And it was the first one that we saw. So I knew she was with us that day. And this is, like I said, a Joseph's coat. This is absolutely gorgeous. Fell in love with it. I love how that picture turned out. And then this one is called a peace rose. I absolutely love yellow roses. Yellow roses are one of my favorites. In fact, yellow roses was my dad's favorite color. And then my brother's favorite color was a sterling, which is like a lavender, like a light lavender rose. So we have yellow roses, and I'm pretty sure it's the peace rose that's in our garden. And then we have a sterling one that doesn't do very well. It only does like 1 or 2 roses a year. So not quite sure why. So we have Joseph's coat. And again, I just typed up the names and die cut them out in the stylish shape dies. Oh, I forgot to put in on my front page. Hold on. Forgot to put the dates. And I'll put that, even though it has on the layout, it has it off to the side right there. But we kind of have like an empty spot right there. So we'll just put that right in the middle. Okay. And then our peace rose. I know the sterling. Okay, so I thought that that was, I thought that that was the case, Lori. So obviously you are familiar with that. And Patty said, am I feeding them each month, spring through summer? Our gardener, I thought was, but I don't think he is. So I need to make sure that that's the case. If, again, the yard needs some serious TLC, and we have so much room that we could even put in flower beds on the side of the house, and we have so much potential for that. And I really think I'm going to dive into working in the yard this summer. Just cleaning things up and getting things all pretty, because we really do have an amazing, gorgeous backyard with a pool. And so I need to take advantage of how beautiful our backyard truly is. And I just laid that down without putting that in. Hold please. I'm just going to lift that up. There we go. There we go. All fixed. There we go. I started talking and forgot to tuck that in. I know. Isn't that funny how it's actually called Betty Boop. I know. Oh, thank you, Anne. Thank you, Lori. Hi, Claire. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you, Peggy. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing any other comments. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add some flowers here. Just wanted to keep it nice and clean because the paper does its job. Okay, and let's see where we're gonna put the date. Maybe we'll put the date right there. Off to the side. What do you guys think? Off to the side for the date, or kind of in the middle for the date? I'll let you guys pick, since there's really not much to pick from. So I'll let you guys decide if you guys like the date at the lower bottom, the upper half, or to the left side. I'll let you guys pick. Then we'll bring in the other page. Peggy says the side. You'd be surprised. Jenny has some amazing layouts as well ready for us. So we all kind of took the layouts and kind of did our own twist for this. So I saw that we voted for the side, so we're going to go ahead and put it off to the side. Yep, okay. So there we have my 2 pages of that layout. I really had fun with these. I really love the floral themed and stuff like that. And when we were talking about it, since it's May kind of flowers, Mother's Day flowers. In fact, Jenny's going to be focusing in on some inspiring women in her life. So it kind of took the best of both worlds and married them together. But thank goodness that we went to the rose garden, because I mean, I would have taken pictures of my mom's roses as well, but I love the fact that they took me to the Rose Garden. It's a test center, which I absolutely love. So I hope that you guys loved these, and be sure to, if you missed Patty's live this morning, please go back and watch it. It is actually up on her YouTube channel right now at Patty's Stamps on YouTube. My replay will be here for the next 30 days, but will be up on my channel later on today at Cards by TLC. And then be sure to join Jennie today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on Facebook. She will be showcasing her pages at Stampin' with Jen, 2 N's in Stampin', 2 N's in Jen. So please be sure to join that. And all of the sizes and dimensions for my projects will be on my blog post tomorrow at cardsbytlc.com, as well as the playlist replays. So I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye, everyone.